On this small planet, there are two worlds. One is the world where people get up, go to work, school or college, and generally carry on with their life. Then there's another world. A world where people get up. A world where people aren't allowed to work towards anything productive and are generally left out of society, unable to make for themselves the kind of decisions most people take for granted. These people have learning disabilities. There are over 10,000 people with learning disabilities in Wales. These can range from people who need a lot of care to people who only need a little bit of assistance to go about their everyday life. There are lots of different types of services and facilities available for people with learning disabilities. But a lot of people feel that they are not able to get the right sort of care. Some people get the wrong kind of care, which means they aren't allowed to do anything for themselves and don't have the freedom to make their own choices. This means that many people do not have any say over where they live, who they live with, where they work, and whether or not they have relationships or get married. Also, many people in society do not know enough about people with learning disabilities. This makes it harder for people with learning disabilities to get jobs and become a useful member of their community. Cynthia Arthur lives in North Wales. Cynthia works for All Wales People First. She co-chairs meetings, runs workshops, and acts as a project worker. She also has a learning disability.
Yes, people treat me differently because they know I have learning disabilities. And because of that, they sort of talk to me like I'm a child, but not a grown-up, which doesn't help at all. I was in a sheltered workshop. I was doing the same old boring thing over and over again. And I said to myself, I think I can do better than this. I need a better future. So I started going to college. The same time I was at the sheltered workshop, obtained a certificate and got myself a job in a local factory, in a canteen, and I was paid £1 an hour. And what I do in the canteen is mop the floors, clean tables, wipe windows, wash about 300 plates a day. There wasn't any washer. All has to be done by hand. And on top, I helped cook the meal for the factory staff. I was very pleased doing that job because I got my self-respect and dignity. It was very hard, but at first I couldn't give it up because I thought if I give it up, I won't find another job. But later, going to Always People First conference, they let me know that a job is a job and that you should get a minimum wage for it. So I gathered up courage and got myself a proper job.
That proper job has allowed her to play a part in the LDIAG.
The LDIAG advises the Minister of Health and Social Care in the Welsh Assembly on everything to do with learning disabilities. Their job basically is to keep learning disabilities on the agenda. Whatever the Welsh Assembly does, the LDIAG is there to say, think about people with learning disabilities.
Also, they've got the subgroups as well beforehand. Like I'm in the independent living group. I'm in that subgroup. Another reps in the other group.
I'm involved with the strategy planning group. They deal with the advocacy standards and measuring how many people in local authorities.
And again, that's fed back into the main LADAG itself.
The meeting itself, I feel it's good sometimes. I feel sometimes it doesn't meet to his needs sometimes.
Again, it's the jargon. Try and get it corrected in, but as I was saying, mainly it's trying to keep it to time for people like myself. I have to travel here, and I can, if I know I've finished that, let's say example, 4 o'clock. But normally if I'm just when it gets to the end, somebody will say, no, we'll put the hand on and I'll start talking. Before you know it, we're stuck there and humming the arm.
So today's event's the LDIEG Roadshow. That's the Learning Disability Implementation Group's roadshow. It's a chance for people to learn about what the LDIEG is doing. All Wales People First host the roadshow events for the LDIEG. We're chairing it today and sort of running the meetings and inviting members from local groups up in the North Wales area to come and join us.
I think nothing replaces going and talking to people and hearing their stories and putting faces to names, and for people to know who I am and people to meet some of the members of the group and to really know who these people are. And it just makes everything realer, talking to people about their own lives.
One of the biggest problems, and it seems to be especially in North Wales, is just transport, people being able to get to an event and leave after spending the whole day with us. We had a group today that will have to leave at lunchtime simply because they have to be able to get back in time for the day service transport, and that means they're not able to be part of the workshops or share their experiences or ideas with the LDIG.
I thought it was very good actually. Some of the questions were very direct. It's like the issues with mileage.
Why people got cars and they can't use cars because the petrol's been cut down. It's disgusting.
If a carer's got a person for all day and she's only about 30 miles, where's she supposed to go?
Employment was one of the main topics brought up at the roadshow.
I work in the hospital in Bangor 2 days a week, and I don't get paid for working in the hospital. I work very hard.
I think people, when they got a job, they don't get money for it, and they do need to get money.
Why would you like to get a proper job?
To be like a normal person.
I don't have a job and I need a job. I rather keep busy because I don't like sitting down and watch television all day. And I don't like to watch the wars all day.
A lot of people with learning disabilities fear getting a job because they think if the job doesn't work out, they won't have their benefit back. Yeah, it's alright to go off benefit because there you earn much than what the government is giving you. That you thereby can buy or do the things you want to do.
And a lot of the time, politicians will not know what's going on in the world of learning disabilities. You know, what we have done in All Way Perfect, we wrote out a manifesto saying what we would like to see new in government, really, to get what was important to the people, not what is important to viewers.
We asked Rhodri Morgan, the First Minister, what he thought of learning disabilities in Wales. Here's what he had to say.
Over the past 8 years, we have created a new, more democratic Wales. I want to be sure that everybody realises that people with learning disabilities are just as much a part of that new Wales as everybody else. They can vote, they can play a part in public life, and we should be listening to what they have to say.
Maybe things have improved, yes, but we still got a long way to go.
The manifesto said that we have the right to control our own life.
Politics is simply about life, about everything that you do in your lives, all the things that you need in your lives, and everybody has opinions about the way we live our lives and they want to live their lives, and everybody has a right to have those opinions heard. So everybody not only should feel encouraged to participate, but they really must participate to ensure that the politicians really represent them.
We have the right to speak out for ourselves, and we want our voices to be heard.
Our aim in All With People is to fight for the right to get self-advocacy for the people across Wales, really.
In the run-up to the recent elections, All Wales People First organised hustings specifically for people with learning disabilities. This was a rare chance to put their questions to the candidates.
For the first time in this election campaign this year ever, when I've knocked on a door and an adult with a learning disability has answered, instead of them saying, oh, I'll go and fetch my mum or dad, I had 3 or 4 people who had questions to ask me. 1 or 2 of those people I know had been involved in People First events, others probably were and I wasn't aware of it. But that was a real buzz for me because, of course, adults with learning disabilities need to be as much part of the democratic process as any other adult, and it was great to have people asking questions about their concerns and their needs. And I just want us to come to the point when we see people as people and our different abilities as just part of the people we are.
We want people to respect us, and they should allow us to make our own mistakes. We have the right to personal growth. We don't want to be wrapped in cottonwood and treated like children. We have the right to go to the same school as everybody else. We have the right to be included in the same activities as everybody else. We want to have the same education, jobs, and paid minimum wages.
You must get involved because you know what you need far better than anybody else. And if you don't tell us, there's a very good chance we won't do it. So you need to get stuck in and make sure you represent yourselves as well as you possibly can. Use help when that's necessary, of course, but don't rely on others. Rely on yourself.
The manifesto said we have the right to friendships and relationships. With good support, we can make it. We can have our own children and look after them as normal children. Sometimes the social services put you where you don't want to be. So we want the right to choose where we live so that we can live with our family and friends as we choose.
The Assembly provides all the services that are important to your everyday life. Education, health services, social services. It's absolutely vital that everyone takes part in elections.
We have the right to good quality health care, because sometimes when you go to the doctors, instead of them asking you the questions, they intend to ask whoever you are with. We want them to ask us the questions and listen to us carefully. We want the right to have health checks. We want to train the social workers, CPN, and the doctors ourselves. Because we live our life, we know what we need and want. And by so doing, we will have good support and care we want.
We should do something really to get the politicians to make them realize what we want, because nobody have listened to people with learning disabilities. We're lost in the queue behind everybody else really.
I will tell the social workers to have their clients at heart. They should help them to move forward in life and not to wrap them in cottonwood. Help them to make their own decision and not to make decisions for them. I want the Commission to listen to the people so that they will know what they need and they can help them to do what they want. The message I want to give the LDIAG is the meeting itself is hard, but they can make it more easier for us by using smaller words and avoiding jargons and things like that. It's better you take control of your life today and be prepared for what tomorrow may bring, because by so doing, you help yourself in life and you become happier. So if I have done it, you can do it too, because when you do things over and over again, you become perfect.
All Wales people first believe that people with learning disabilities should
benefit from the same adult education, voluntary or paid work, and leisure activities as everybody else,
with the support they need,
so that they can live in a world where they can get up,
go to work, school or college,
and carry on with their lives
just like everybody else.